Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GBYWN Australia podcast. I'm your host, Aston Crude, and I am here for part fucking try with the hardcore god, the WZWA heavyweight champion, Antillicus. Hello.
What's up, mate?
Yeah, good. Good shit. We're going here on with part 3. I'm hyperactive, I'm having a good time, and we're getting to Gentleman's Duel. The hardcore gauntlet. You win the world hardcore title and you're back where you belong.
Yep.
The feud with Rex begins. Not only that, you leave the rebellion. A lot happens in one segment here. How did all of this make you feel?
So good. It was so refreshing. Probably the most refreshing feeling after all of the refreshments I've had in the back of my wrestling career. This was it. You know, I just left Rebellion after, believing that was holding my true potential down.
Those two scrubs holding you back.
To becoming, the world hardcore champion where I thought I belonged. Everything was coming up Millhouse. Everything was awesome. Everything was around my way, and I finally felt like I was back where I needed to be. I just come back from that D push, and I was finally happy with myself in the Warzone Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, sick. So the magnitude of being a world champion. I mean, the GBYWN sanction their championships around the world, and there's only so few world championships, but we got the world hardcore title, and it took a while, but you finally got there. How did it make you feel to be able to say I'm the world hardcore champion? It
was great. Like I've
crazy.
As I mentioned in the first third of this podcast, I've always wanted to improve, and I've always wanted to be the best after seeing likes of Aston Crew dominate in ICWS, SPWS dominate. I wanted to dominate.
Yeah.
And to finally be called the world hardcore champion, and to know that people thought that I deserved to be the world world heavyweight champion, sorry. People thought that I deserved to be on top like that was great. I thought that I would finally achieve what I'd always wanted to be.
Yeah. Excellent, bro. How did Lowe feel about the split? Did you tell him about it? Did you talk to him about it?
We did talk over it.
How did he react to it?
He was both happy and sad. He was happy that I'd finally achieved my dream. He was really happy for me, but he was sad that he couldn't be a part of it. But he was also happy that he wasn't a part of it, because he was, he felt that he was.
So
done
did he
with
know
wrestling.
that he was holding you back?
Yeah.
He admitted it?
He admitted it after I got champion. He's like, I'm glad that we split up. He was happy with me and how I'd made progress. And I was talking to him, all these times ranting about it, and he's like, I'm sorry, man, it's awesome to know that you're champion, but he just doesn't really care about wrestling that much. So he was stoked.
Did you ever try to
bring him back?
Yeah. Say, come on, man, come on, this is us. We've always been in this together. Why aren't you?
He was telling me before, when he bailed on my final match with him recently. Before it all happened, he told me that he might not be there, and I'm like, come on, dude. This is our last shot to have a match. This means so much to me. And he's like, I'm sorry, dude, it just doesn't mean anything to me anymore. And that killed me, that it still meant everything it did back then, and it just meant nothing to him anymore. It was like the breakup in our gay little relationship kind of thing. Wrestling wise.
Was the heat of that day, was that really a problem, or was he just...
What do you mean, the heat of that day?
He said that the show that he was supposed to come wrestle you, he said that he couldn't come because he faints in the heat.
Yeah, I did understand it, because I have been around him multiple times when he's fainted, and it's,
as long as it was
it's
legit,
scary shit. It's scary shit. Like one time, we were at this place called Spaceships on Ocean Reef. Me, Marcus, and Rob, with Lo, and we're chilling. I'm sitting next to Lo, and I thought Lo was just having a little bit of a nap or something next to me, and I fucking take a look at him, and his shoulder's just spazzing out, and I'm like, I can't see his face. I go over and look at him, and his whole body's just having a fit, and I was just like, holy shit, he fucking fell off the little bench. I had to catch him, stop his head from hitting the floor, and I was, we got water, we splashed on him and stuff,
he's
and
not in the heat. Okay.
It was so terrifying. It's the first time I've been around someone having a fit like that, and it was so scary. It happened to someone who I loved so dearly, it sucked, but it was a genuine reason, but it was extremely disappointing.
Okay, fair enough. Alex Stone's second last match of his career at the time, because he has come back now for a couple matches this year. What do you think makes Alex important to Western Australian backyard wrestling?
Just the impact he's made over his past, you know. He's always been the rock star. He's always been one of the most charismatic superstars WWE has to offer. And now it's like he's leaving. His charisma in WWE is leaving, and that's mean the charisma of WWE is also part of it is leaving. And it's like it's a really noticeable chunk gone.
Yeah, and you can notice it
yeah,
when he's not there.
You can notice it. There's you know, he always put on that standout promo. It was always just the perfect promo every time. He knew how to work a mic.
And he didn't give a shit about any hecklers he got through.
Exactly. He ignored him. He did it. Didn't forget anything. He was such an influential superstar.
I think people learn through certain... If you heckle me, you're not going to get a good... You're going to get a response and they're going to get shut down. So I think people have shut up when I talk. But and they did with Alex as well, because he was quite quick-witted as well.
Now they targeted me.
Yeah. Alright, so Resolution 3, we get to the big show, the biggest show of all time. It stands to this day, as far as I'm concerned, the best show in WWE history. You face Rex. The feud has begun. It began at Hanukkah Havoc, but what did you think of that match, and what is it like working with Rex? You have spoke quite a lot about it, but what did you think of that first match of the feud?
That was an insane. That was a match I came out and attacked him prior, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was an insane match. I love that. He was so how do I explain it? That was like the most perfect example of being hard hitting in a match and how we can drive a match. Like we were actually just beating the shit out of each other, and it was so much fun. There was so much heat. It like felt like I actually hated Chris in real life.
Really?
He made it feel like I actually despised him. And I hadn't had that feeling in a match in a long time. You know, I'm the heel. I go out and I act like I hate them.
Yeah.
But with Chris, he made it feel like I actually hated them, and I didn't want any dead spots because I wanted to go and beat the shit out of him again.
Yeah. And I think I made it important to you. I made sure to tell you, look, I want this to be balls to the wall.
Yeah, and it was. You know, we used everything to our advantage. We used the gates. We used the entranceway. We used the crowd. Unfortunately, with Jack, that didn't work as well as we thought it would.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
What did you think?
But we used everything to our advantage, and I thought that was an amazing match.
Did the interference from Jack piss you off?
I think it's because of that wasn't a nominee for Match of the Year. Because I probably sound quite up myself for that, but we both feel pretty strongly that really put it down on the match. Jack,
Gotcha.
I mean, the thing that actually drove that is Lowe constantly shouting, "Oh, push Jack off his chair." So Chris is like, "Okay, I'm the face of the match. I'm gonna go do what the crowd want." Mm-hmm. Push Jack off the chair, and I think there's a little bit of heat with Jack and Chris at the time, and Jack took it personally and came and just ruined our match, unfortunately. Yeah. And
but shit happens, you know, and they got over it pretty quickly.
Yeah, thankfully they got it out quite quickly. But
it stands as the show that Brian Lowe has his last match at to this date. Here I want to end the whole section about Brian, because we talked about him quite a bit. But what does Brian Lowe mean to the career of Antillicus?
Oh, Lowe had such a massive impact. Even him being a disappointment and leaving, that drove me even further to want to be my own man. You know, I wanted to be special on my own because I was done with that. So I think him being a team with me in Rebellion really boosted my confidence. And then once I already had that confidence, I was ready to continue as my own man. And I think Lowe being a bit of a disappointment with that probably helped me a lot more. You know, I mean, I'm sure if it carried on, I wouldn't have been such a noticeable heel back then. You know, because I all of a sudden went from this baby face who was in a team for so long, fighting against the EA, to be a threat sort of equal to the EA on my own, without Lowe. Like, you know, like it was just everything that happened, whether it was bad or good, had a positive impact on my career.
Yeah, I agree, bro. So we have the height of Resolution 3. After Resolution 3, we see the retirements of Mike Delcano, Nick Ariel, Alex Stone, There's a couple more. I can't remember. Clint Marshall at the time also decided to hang up the boots, even though he did come back for a little bit. And of course, Brian Lowe was his last match as well. We got on a hiatus because we've been hitting it hard for 2.5 years at this point, or however long it was. And I felt strongly that I was burned out and I needed a bit of a break, and Jack was a little bit burned out too, so we felt, let's have a 2-month break. We'll come back in late March or April and start things back off again. But during this hiatus we have some issues, mainly because of Jack's loss of motivation to care. So it looked like that we were going to have our last show just after Hard Time. And so it was a really tough time for WCWA. We had Hard Time. It wasn't a very good show. There were only maybe 2 matches on the show, which were somewhat decent. But it was a bad show. After the height of Resolution 3, to go to such lows really sucks. But it looked like we almost lost it. How were you feeling during that time where it looked like it was out of our control and it might be all over?
That was really shitty. I was getting to my peak once more.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden,
just got there.
Yeah, it's like I want to drag this out, and it looks like I won't be able to. I was really upset during that time that it was going to end. I really didn't want it to end. I wanted everyone's enthusiasm to be back up there, and it just sucks. It really did suck because I was really convinced that. And I
wasn't ready to say goodbye.
Yeah,
I
don't think many of us were at all.
No one was ready, except for those that retired in January at Resolution. But no one was ready for it to end, and everyone still had so much more to accomplish. And luckily, things turned around. We were very lucky because I think all those heartfelt posts that everyone was putting up about how it was affecting them. I think Jack read them and realised I got to talk to my dad and try and get him to agree to at least one show every 2 months at least or something like that. So we did come back. Things were okay. The feud with Rex continues. What do you think of Rex Regum and the measure of success he's attained right now? Being a fellow original and seeing that maybe he hasn't risen to the spot he could have by now.
I mean, it's fucking awesome, because he has always thought that he's deserved to be the top, and I've always been with him thinking he has deserved, if you look at his skill and how he works a match, technically he does deserve to be in that position. So it is really really satisfying seeing someone I've worked with for so long finally be content with himself in wrestling.
Yeah, but also let's look at the measure of success. Yeah. You and Luke Monet, we'll get to you and Monet in a minute, but the top dogs for 2015, basically. The year's been all about you guys, whereas because of past problems with Rex, he hasn't been able to be in the same position as you guys, to be at that top position.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. I think because of his attitude, he's missed out on a lot of things that he could have done.
A lot of opportunities
he's missed out on because of that. The attitude he used to have, the problems he had with you and Jack and all that. I think they've really put a downfall, unfortunately, on his career that he hasn't
And I feel bad for him.
Yeah,
even though the issues were with me, I still feel bad for him because he founded this federation with Jack. He's always been a part of it. He was an original, yet he hasn't attained the success that you three have had because of his attitude. And I still feel bad about it, even though it was warranted as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, I hate it because, he is just as good, if not better, as a wrestler and a worker as I am. The only thing that's different with me and Rex was just that attitude.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's been his only issue throughout the years.
The only downfall he's had.
It's his only problem, just the attitude he's had.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I think he'd be in my position. He'd be the top dog, me and Luke are right now.
Exactly.
And it is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah. So due to these changes in the WCWA, having one show every 2 months, we can't get you to drop your World Hardcore title, unfortunately, It really sucks, but that's the way it is because we're moving towards Frostbite 2015, where you'll be taking on Mykonos for the heavyweight title. In hindsight, is it a disappointment the way that the World Hardcore title reign ended? Despite the good start, it didn't really get to have its climax due to the fact that we had to rush.
Yeah, definitely. Everything about the situation was a huge disappointment. You know, like I went from back in the day thinking that I was wrestling too much and it was too much for me to handle, to I want to wrestle more.
Yeah, you kept messaging me on Facebook saying, "Dude, this is killing me. I want to wrestle more. I want to wrestle
exactly.
more."
It would you know, when you have an event and you have that a couple of weeks or so, where it's like, okay, it's a good little break, and then it hits like 3 weeks after, and it's like, I want to be back in that ring.
Yeah,
I want to be back developing my character, because after 2 months, you forget what it was like last event.
Yeah.
It's almost as if you can't really improve now because there is that much of a gap. It's like you're just staying at that same level, and it's hard to put on a better match each event.
Yeah,
which I wanted to, you know, each event I want to put on a better match than the last event, and it's just like,
I mean, I really wanted you to have a solid World Hardcore title.
Yeah, and with the hardcore, it's just I was about to get onto then. It was just like, you know, I've always been known for trying to define the hardcore division in WWA, and I felt I did do that with the Backyard Championship, and then I finally get a championship that is actually called the Hardcore Championship, and I'm the champion, and I can't drop that in a way that I'd like to. I want, you know, Dan Zeppelin, I wanted him to beat me properly and like show that he deserved to be the hardcore champion.
Yeah, trying to find a way.
I know, and it was just
unfortunate with ICWS. Couldn't get him to commit to ICWS because he wasn't interested. Really wanted to have that rematch between you two so you could do it, lose the belt the right way.
I felt like we were both cheated out of that because Dan Zeppelin deserved to prove that he can earn the hardcore championship. And I deserved, you know, to put someone over in that style of crazy match, you know, in that kind of hardcore stipulation, and put on an awesome match to give someone who I thought really deserved the championship.
And it was
just, I had to just give him it.
Yeah.
I couldn't even have a singles match. It was just, I had to just give him the championship, and that was really disappointing, I think, for us both.
I think one of the main problems was that as 2015 began, Dan was being difficult to deal with because he wasn't motivated anymore, and he didn't wrestle for most of the first half of the year except for a couple matches, but he didn't seem too interested in what he was doing, and he ended up bailing on a few ideas that I had. There was one with Alice and Dan tagging against Ryan and Lily. It was supposed to be, you know, the first ever mixed tag team match in Australian backyard wrestling history. And it never got to happen, so the feud between Ryan and Dan never got to see its conclusion. So I was disappointed in him with that because he just was so disinterested. So the initial idea of him beating you for the World Hardcore title ended up being pushed away. It was going to end up being you being stripped of the belt, and then it being put on the line between Johnny V and Dan Zeppelin. Well, then John ended up disappointing me that day, so it turned into a fucking clusterfuck.
A whole stream of disappointment,
and the fact that I had to lay down. I had to lay down to get pinned for him to win the World Hardcore title.
And like, you both didn't deserve that, you know. You didn't deserve to just let someone just pin you, and he didn't deserve to have a win as pathetic as that.
Yeah.
He deserved to have an awesome match.
It was the only thing that day that I could think that I was in the mood for, because I was not, after I was disappointed with my friends bailing, I was like, I don't want to wrestle. So we'll get the belt on someone else at least. And look, it goes down as one of the controversial moments in WCW.
That promo was powerful as fuck.
Yeah. But you could tell that I was so heartbroken. Yeah, that day I was so
That wasn't even a
flat.
promo, that was just you talking.
Yeah, that was just me. But, you know, that's what happened with the World Hardcore title after you. It's come back a little bit more. The prestige is back. Dan defended it a couple of times. We have that thing with Dan and Chaos, the last show, which I thought was a tremendous segment. And finally, now we're getting the Johnny V Dan Zeppelin match that we were supposed to have once upon a time, which in my opinion is a dream match, considering their positions in both XCW and ICWS. Getting away from that, Bowl of Mixed Nuts. I wanted to talk about this match because I think it goes down as one of the most important matches in WCWA history. It features yourself and Luke Monet before you were actually joined forces to take on Jack Wallace and Rex Regan, the 4 originals, for the first time. Just you guys in one match. I know that there was the Battle War match and a few other things, but this was the first time it was just you 4 going out there, and it was a hell of a match. How do you feel how important that match was to have?
That felt really, really special to me. I thought, just starting off with those 3, to get to the point and the skill level that we are now, we're all respected, talented superstars in WZWA, and we're finally getting another match to all be in at the same time. I thought that was really special, and that was a really important match in my career, and even had a huge part in our little, me and Luke joining together. You know, we had all these ideas, it was like
that this is what's coming.
That's kind of like, oh, we do work good as a team.
Yeah,
maybe we could become a team. That's what we wanted to try and give off, while also just trying to have an awesome originals classic match.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got to the big one. We're at the big one. Antillicus, WZWA Frostbite 2015. You've already had one match with them, I believe it was at False Finish, which ended the way that it did. You ended up getting yourself a rematch. You form a team with Luke Bonet. You beat Mykonos for the heavyweight championship. Thinking back to when you were on that trampoline in the beginning of 2012, trying to prove yourself through when the ring era came in, ICWS came in, trying to prove yourself as backyard champion. Your feud with Ice, Chaos, Rex Regan, Mykonos, Elite Alliance, backyard champion again, Ryan Tate, keeps going. The tag team with Low, the Rebellion. This is a long, winding road for Antillicus. There's been ups, there's been downs. You had a down period in 2014, you came back, World Hardcore Champion, then boom! 2015, the time is right. It's ripe enough. It's time for Antillicus to hit the apex of the WZWA. This is a hell of a promo I'm cutting right now. I'm talking about hard times, baby. Hard times is what Antillicus went through to become heavyweight champion. How did it make you feel when that last count went down for that 3 count to beat Mykonos?
It was like everything over the past 3-4 years had all just been to make this one magnificent moment in my career. Everything just felt complete. Mitch has always been an iconic, technical, just amazing wrestler in my eyes, and to win something as huge as the heavyweight championship from someone like him was just so powerful. I really thought that there couldn't have been a better way for me to win it.
Yeah,
I thought it was just like, as soon as the ref hit the 3, it was just like holy shit, I did it. Everything I've worked for has come to this. I've worked so hard to try and be the best, and now I'm finally recognized as the best. And it was just, I felt so complete. Like, everyone now looks up to me as the champion, and it's like, I've worked so hard to get here. People believe that I deserve to be here, and that's just such an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Having everyone have so much faith in such a young star like myself.
And it goes to show that feeling that you felt was worth the wait. It was worth the influx of the ICWS talent in 2012 to push you guys down the roster to start from scratch the way that young backyard wrestlers should.
Exactly.
And that when they do finally reach that moment of glory of defying the odds and finally getting there, nothing beats that feeling.
Nothing beats that feeling. I remember walking out of that arena and finally getting off camera and just looking at the championship like,
I've got
this is mine,
and I earned it.
Like, I'm the champion now. I'm not holding this for Mitch, when he's chilling, and I'm not looking at Ice holding it, This is mine. I stand on the same level as Ice, as Mykonos, as Aston, all these great champions, and now I can be known in Australian backyard wrestling history as one of WWA's great world heavyweight champions.
Yeah,
and it just makes me feel so good, like. It really goes to show that no matter how good of a wrestler like you are, it's everything involved. It's your attitude, it's your skill, it's how you go about things. It's everything. You need to earn the respect of everyone, and after you get that, you earn the heavyweight champion, and it's just like,
And that's something I don't think the pros really understand. You know, this is something that people really have to work for in backyard wrestling. In pro wrestling, it's because you're drawing the money, you're selling the tickets.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course you've got to work your ass off, but if you've just got that natural ability and everyone's paying to see you, then yeah, they get the belt, you know. Whereas with backyard wrestling, it's all about just hard work. It's not about anything else other than just hard work and that perseverance and the attitude.
And proving that you can come back. You know, I was up, I had that massive downfall, and Low, he left, and he hasn't. He was champion, but he didn't have a good run. He lost it in a pretty embarrassing loss, I think. 3 choke slams in a row to Ice was pretty brutal. 5 choke slams, not just 3, but 5 choke slams from Ice, and it's like.
It went to show what happened to him, It was like, I'm sorry, dude.
Everything counts. And
after all that hard work I did with him, and then for him to, be shit with me after that, and then that's what happens.
You really got to try and prove yourself.
You have to.
You don't just get it because you're a good wrestler, You don't just deserve things. You need to prove that you deserve it. And
see, winning it and being champion are 2 different things. Winning it is a great moment, but being champion is, you still got way more to prove.
I mean, unfortunately, I haven't had enough defenses that I'd rather have. But
that's the effect of the 2 months break between shows. But I think you've still held the belt very well, and you look like a superstar, and you're right where you need to be. I want to talk a little bit about Mykonos, because I think we have talked about him a little bit, and his effect that he's had on you, and how much he's helped you over the years. You think back to the series of matches with Mykonos in 2012, when you were just starting to grow. And then in 2015, the 2 matches you had last year. What do you feel Mykonos has done for you as an opponent over the years, despite the fact you never really had a feud, which was... It was just, just fighting one another for belts, it wasn't really a personal feud, What do you think he's done for you as an opponent over the space of that time?
Oh, he's really like, if I was to compare the 2, years, it was like the first time it was like, I felt like I was going against, I was a beginner going against, a master of wrestling, It was like, but then in 2015, it was like we were both on the same level. I really felt like we both.
You caught up.
Yeah, I was like, he made me want to get to the same level as him. We worked really well, and he really carried the match in the earlier years.
Yeah.
But then when it came to 2015, we were on the even level, and it's like.
Now you're working together.
I feel so much more content with this match because we have worked together. It isn't just you calling the match and me doing it to make it good. It's us both working together.
Exactly.
And us both thinking this is what should happen. And it's like, I have those moments, like I was saying earlier, like Chris, where we knew what was going to happen. And it was crazy to have that same feeling with someone like Mykonos,
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be able to have great chemistry with Mykonos. I always thought we had really opposite styles of wrestling.
He's a technical guy.
Exactly. But then we had that match, and it was just like we worked so well. I thought that it was a completely different feeling of match. The first couple of matches were awesome, but the 2015 match was amazing for me. Excellent,
bro. So you're feuding with JD Flame as well. What's your opinion of JD Flame as a performer?
He is one of the most charismatic, I think, Fed has to offer. And he's always been someone that I didn't think that I'd be able to work with, because he's always been in the complete opposite styles of storylines I've been in. His different style of wrestling,
You guys have never really been near each other. Yeah.
And we've never actually had a proper one-on-one match. We've had the tag match.
I believe it will happen this year. There will be a match between you two.
Hopefully, because I think now we would have some pretty awesome chemistry.
Yeah.
I think now worked my way up to his level.
Yeah.
I think we'd be able to pull off a very good match. And I think it's awesome that he's actually involved, because I never thought I'd be involved with JD, and it's, I don't know, like now I'm all of a sudden with all these top dogs that I never thought that I'd be with, and it's
really cool.
I don't know, it's such a great feeling.
I mean, think how I feel. I've had the
said that so
chance
many
to
times.
wrestle. I've had the chance to wrestle almost everyone at this point. So you're almost there, dude. I mean, we've got the 2016 Dream Match series and all that. And we're making sure that everyone gets to wrestle each other that they haven't wrestled yet before WCWA is done. So once you tick everyone off the list, then we can all walk away from this feeling complete. You know?
Feeling happy.
So they end a feud with Rex at Stairway to Hell for Hardcore Hell, sorry, in the Stairway to Hell match for the Heavyweight Championship. One last time between you and Rex. Thought it was a brilliant match.
That was a really fun match.
And, after all the times you guys have wrestled each other, how do you feel that feud went in the end? It went over the space of about 7 or 8 months, which might have been about 5 or 6 shows. How do you feel did it meet your expectations?
Yeah, definitely. I thought I was really satisfied with how our feud ended. You know, after getting Match of the Year and a Stairway to Hell, I thought it was a really good way to end.
You know what? I almost pitched to you guys because Chaos actually had just wrestled Rex for the #1 contendership, and I was thinking, what if we do a draw, and then we do the rematch?
Yeah.
3-way.
I don't think it would have been as
but
good.
I would have been like, you know what? Let's just leave it as the classic and not try and recreate something that already was amazing.
That's a better option.
So
I think.
that's when I made the decision. You
And
know what? That would be awesome, but let's not put the pressure on them to try and beat that because
I think if it was another triple threat, our end and our feud wouldn't have been as powerful. You know,
exactly.
It wouldn't have been the proper end of just a feud because someone else would have been in it.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy how that match went.
Yeah,
we had
it was
really
cool.
great, chemistry again. I don't think we've ever had a bad match, me and Chris.
No, it's impossible.
Never have. It can't
Even if
happen.
you guys tried, it would still be better than Bundy Mac X. You know?
That was great. It was awesome being in that kind of match style as well, because the Stairway to Hell was meant to be like an annual thing. I thought my first Stairway to Hell was my first and last. Mm-hmm. So I was really happy that I got a chance to wrestle in that kind of
one of those
weird rule match.
It's become one of those staples of the WCWA, that Stairway to Hell match that happens once a year. It's almost as important as that Battlefield Brawl match.
Yeah.
So moving on from there, I want to talk about where are we? So where are we at? Okay, sorry. This event. So the previous event, Monet helped you beat Mykonos for the heavyweight title, and then at this show, Monet beat Mykonos for the Aussie title. So I want to know what your feelings are on, firstly, the idea of teaming with Luke, and then also how you feel the team has gone.
I was really happy I got the chance to team with Luke, because I've always thought that my two best opponents were Luke and Chris.
Yeah.
And now, finally get the chance to team with Luke as well, as well as Chris. So I've teamed with everyone that I thought I had the best chemistry with: Lo, Chris, and Luke, and now Luke.
Yeah.
And I think Luke's really made me grow as a character and a heel. He showed me different ways to be a heel. Just we're kind of working off each other. You know what I mean?
He's pushing you and you're pushing him.
Exactly, in different ways.
Yeah.
And we're both becoming much, much better wrestlers. And I think I can notice it in even just watching his matches and watching my matches back over. It's like I can notice the slight differences.
Yeah.
That I think are working with each other pretty well. And I think it's really great being able to work with Luke, because I don't know. It's just such a satisfying feeling. Like the team of another original. It's like
exactly.
I'm just getting little tastes of teaming and feuding with every original. With Chris and
IC Dub, you got the thing with Luke. You got to have Low. Yeah. It's just like Jack. Yet you haven't really had the chance to. You've wrestled him though, but you haven't really got to team with him or anything. But but it's been cool that you've had the opportunity to explore as much as you can with your character, with their characters, throughout the timeline of WCWA's history. So.
And I'm really happy because Luke's made me feel a lot more confident in my wrestling, and then even in my promos, I'm still not as happy as I would want to be with my promos. But watching Luke cut a promo is just like, he's the voice of our team. I think he's really driving our little alliance thing.
Yeah.
A lot more than I could have imagined. We've really become something that I didn't think we would be.
I
thought we'd just be another alliance, but we're the thing in
Yeah.
WWE right now.
You're
And
like-
that's like insane.
You're like Aston Creed and Alex Stone,
Yeah.
but brought to today's era. You
exactly,
know?
and it's just insane. Like now we're the threat to Mykonos. You know, like I used to look up to Mykonos and JD Flame, and now we're the threat to them. We're the one making them worry. We're taking their championships, and it's like I never could have imagined this could have happened, and I couldn't be happy with my position right
Sweet,
now.
bro. I think the thing was, I think he saw what you were doing as a heel, and that's when he decided, I want to turn heel. I need to turn heel. The franchise were actually supposed to keep going throughout just till mid 2015, so they could help the tag division keep going. But the tag division turned to shit because of Arthur Aries screwing me over. But,
Yeah.
I think he saw what you were doing and he wanted to be able to replicate it in his own way.
And he
And
did.
then as soon as he did it, I was like, got to put them together. You got to put them together. There's no fucking ifs or buts about it. It makes more sense than anything.
Exactly. Like he just put such a different spin on my character, and it was like he became the perfect heel right after I started getting recognized for being a perfect heel, and it's
Yeah.
like, holy shit, man. You know.
And you're the one to take the crown
influence.
from me for heel of the year. I won every year, and then I turned babyface, and now, you know, you were the one that took the crown from me for being heel of the year. So, you know, I think it goes to show that your vision for being a heel really worked. So, and I think all those tools that you learned from over the years, maybe from your feud with the Elite Alliance and all that stuff, you used that to inspire you
Definitely.
to be the character you are
Definitely.
today. So after that, there is a tag team match with you and Monet against Mykonos and JD Flame, but we don't need to talk about just a match. You know, you've already said what you feel about those guys. I want to talk about Christmas Carnage last year. Initially, he was supposed to face Lowe in his return, but he bails on the show due to an injury he sustained at work. So, once again, you and I are talking, who are we going to have replace your initial opponent? I threw a couple of ideas at you. You kind of weren't keen on some of them, but one of them was Tim Justice. Tim had recently, and we've been talking about him making a return. He wanted to do it. I had this great idea when I was doing my return promo after my hiatus from being a character on the shows. I was going to come out and talk about my hit list and who I am and what I'm all about. And I would end the promo saying, if someone's got a problem with me, then you come to me so you can leave no stone unturned as well before this is all over. Well, Tim was supposed to interrupt, was supposed to have a match, and then he was going to be a prominent character on the shows from then on. Well, he missed the show. We had a falling out. We didn't talk. Tried to bury the hatchet with him. I apologised to him. Didn't really apologise back to me, even though he should have. And basically, the scenario went along. We got to Christmas Carnage. You needed an opponent. I think you were hanging out with him, as I said to you, what about Tim? When he was supposed to return, he told me, I really want to wrestle Jacob. I really want to, maybe wrestle Lowe if he's coming back, and I'd like to be a heel because I never really got to do it. Okay, fucking sweet, dude. Let's do it.
Tim's also the same faith in me, like he's had, like, Mike had, He's always seen me as one of the stands out.
And I don't think he really got to have an ultimate match with you.
He didn't.
So I was like, you know what? I'll give him another chance. Because you needed an opponent. The match happens. Look, we know what the build-up to this was. Tim was saying to me, I want Jacob to be a babyface this match because I told you I want to be a heel. And I'm like, can we please tell the story first before you're a heel? Can we explain the story of how you attacked Lowe, but you pretending that you didn't attack Lowe, but you're here to fight for him? And then we'll reveal it at the next show that you were the one that cost him his opportunity to fight Antillicus. Yeah, alright. What happens? He ends up coming out being a heel anyway. He wanted, despite the fact he messed me around, he wanted to get his own way anyway and do what he wanted to do. And it pissed me off because it's like, you're not in any position to tell me what you want. You need to make it up to me, motherfucker. But he doesn't understand that. He thinks it's always going to be about him. So I was like, you know what, Jacob, everything that happens in this match is up to you. You decide what happens, okay? He gets to have his little dream come true of wrestling you. You get to wrestle him, because I knew you wanted to wrestle him too.
For so long.
I'll get to the end of this rant in a second.
It's all good.
The match happens. Talk about what went on before that match and discussing with him how it was supposed to go, which is what I just told you about how he was supposed to pretend he was a babyface. Then we'll tell the story and turn him heel. And then he can wrestle Low at Resolution in Low's last match, in Tim's last match. Doesn't happen that way. What happened?
He came out thinking that he was just like... He came out with the attitude that he was the top heel, you know? And he tried to make it seem like he was one of the top heels, even though he'd just come back randomly, you know? Like, he was...
He came back as a heel when he was supposed to be babyface.
Yeah, and like he comes out...
Against the top heel in the company.
Yeah, shouting all these things. He's going against the top heel, thinking he should be the heel of the match. You know, he's like... I think he had the attitude that the match should have been about him. I mean, it should have been about me. Yeah, well, you know, both of us.
Yeah,
were like,
but more about you, because you're the one going over. You're the one that needs the win.
Yeah, and it was like he just didn't let me do anything. You know, he would call, like, he would just say something and then he would just do it. Even if, you know, no matter what I said, he would just go and do it. And he came out It like started bad from the get-go. He come out, started shouting all those things, and Noel got pissed
Swearing,
off.
he got told off by Noel.
Saying those stupid things like, Lowe's bleeding in a hospital, struggling for his life, fucking all this stupid shit. And it's just like, you've already over...
He called you the same washed-up piece of shit that he remembers as you're standing there holding the WCWA heavyweight title.
Nothing he said made sense.
How can you be washed up if you're the heavyweight champion?
The match didn't make sense, he didn't make sense, nothing made sense, and it was...
See, if he would listen to me...
Terrible match.
If he would fucking listen to
anyone.
My vision...
He didn't listen to me.
He would know that it would make sense if he did what I told him to do, but because it's Tim Logic... Hashtag Tim Logic. It's his way and it never makes sense.
I made it so clear before the match, like, dude, I understand you want to be put over a bit, but you can't expect to be put over the top heel, the champion right now. Like, this still needs to be putting me over. You know, we're still going to make you look like a sick wrestler. We're going to make you look awesome.
Of course.
But you need to put me over in the process.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand that putting people over is just as important as people putting you over. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not all about him.
Exactly. You need to put people...
It's about the other guy.
It's all about the right time to do things, you know? And this wasn't the right time for him to put over. He would have got that later when, you know, faced Low. But he wanted that then and there with me. And it was just the wrong time. And he rushed everything. And it was a shit match. Probably my least favourite match. And that I've had some shitty matches. That was my least favourite. And it sucks, because we've always talked about how great we'd be in a match, because we have similar ideas, you know. We've always been open for those ideas. He's always had faith in me, I've always had faith in him. And then it happens, and it's just a complete failure. And it was such a disappointment, you know. Because
you really wanted to cement your place as champion. Yeah. This was one of the very few title defences we could get for you.
And it was just
disappointed.
So disappointed.
What was your relationship with him like after that match?
It started going downhill from there. You know, we're not even friends anymore, because he started fucking me over after that with other shit that's unrelated, so I won't get into that. Mm-hmm. But after that match, I wasn't happy with it. He knew I wasn't happy with it, and I think he recognised that and didn't really talk to me much after that. And it was just...
Well, if he only listened to you, you're the champion, you're in control.
You know, yeah, exactly. He doesn't understand what it's like to go in a match against a champion. You need to make them look good, because they are champion. Like, no matter how much you want to look good, you need to put them over because they are champion. And he doesn't understand how to work the right match. He knows how to work a match. If it was just a normal singles match, he could work a great match. But he doesn't know how to tell the right story.
Exactly. And it's disappointing because now, because of his attitude with that, because of the way he's talked to me, and because of the way... He acts like... He's not going to listen to this, so it doesn't matter, but he acts like I owe him something. We all owe him something, and he wants to be made to feel like he's important and that he's needed. Remember at Line in the Sand, our latest show that we had, he was messaging you in the morning, he was messaging me in the morning, I'm sorry, Am I going to be there? Am I going to be a part of the show? Does everyone hate me? I think everyone hates me. Dude, it's not my problem anymore. You screwed yourself over. You didn't talk to me for, 2 months. After the last show, you didn't speak to me. Yet the day of the show, you expect to be a part of the show. That's not fair on other people that have shown their dedication towards the product and dedication towards listening to my ideas and going out there and doing them to the best of your ability, putting your own spin on it, of course, like I always expect everyone to. But he always feels like he needs to be made to feel important and that he's needed. And he's always baiting you and fishing for compliments and fishing to be told that, yes, we need you, Tim, we need you. It's not happening, not on my watch anymore. I'm over it, and because of that attitude and because of the way that he's been, did he show up that day? No, he didn't. Because everyone hates me, He wants me to tell him that, no, we don't hate you, we like you, we want you to be there. But look, I'm not going to fucking keep trying to feed your fucking ego anymore, bro. I'm done with it.
Yeah, it really is just another strong example of how important and how much of an impact your attitude makes on your career.
Communication.
It's so important to be just as big outside of the ring to your peers than it is to your actual character. You need to be loved and respected outside of kayfabe. Also, it all comes together. It all makes a difference, and it's just that attitude thing. You need to have the right attitude to be successful. And that communication
breakdown, is the downfall of everyone.
Like he still has my shit. He still hasn't given me my shit back after all that stuff, and he even sent a big apology saying, it was wrong with me, and he still hasn't done anything about it. Like that's it. You can't say sorry about something and promise you will follow up,
and then don't.
And it's
it.
not follow up. Like I'm more offended now that he hasn't done it than I was before when he said he wasn't going to do it. It's all an attitude thing.
Exactly.
Man. Attitude is so important.
And you're supposed to be friends of years and years and years.
And that's the thing.
And that's what you treat your friends. Just because you have one argument doesn't mean you sever ties with them and block them on. Just fucking grow up. You can't fucking do that to your friends. Sever ties over one little issue.
A little off topic.
I don't care. I don't fucking care. I'm fucking raging now because I've been wanting to say it for a while. He fucked me around. He fucks everyone around. He thinks he's important. He's not. That's why he's not in the Federation anymore. And if he wants to make it up to us, he can come to a show with his tail between his legs, be humble, and fucking say to everyone, I'm sorry for the way that I acted. Remember when Chris did that? Remember when he was almost out of WCWA, but he came back. He showed that he was a man. He was man enough to say sorry to every person, even the people that he hadn't offended. He still said sorry to everyone.
Exactly.
And that's the measure of him, and that's why these days he's doing a lot better because he finally got there. He finally started to show the appropriate respect. Tim still acts like a fucking teenager. Away from that, building to Resolution 4, your feud with Blade. Look, I know it hasn't had a lot of time to build up.
Yeah.
He won the Battlefield Brawl. There was a bit of a showdown between you two at Christmas Carnage. Line in the Sand, we really started getting to build on that. He got a nice promo. You attacked him, beat him down. It was really cool. What are your thoughts on Resolution 4 and your opportunity to wrestle Blade Shaw, the guy that still has not been pinned or made to submit since his return in early 2014?
I think it's really great that we're not just, putting two of the most all-around characters to put on an awesome match. That isn't just what's important now. It's the storyline and how we tell that story and how important we make others think it is, Yeah. And I am believer where I'm building this quite really fucking well. We're building this to be one of the most insane matches I think we've hyped up.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because I've never worked a match with Blade. I've only seen him wrestle. We have completely different styles. He's a big man. I'm an all-rounder. It's just like it isn't just about how well we work together. It's about how well we tell the story and about how well we do tell the story in the match and how we hype it up before. And it's like a main event shouldn't just be the two best wrestlers.
It should be
how to tell
the
a story.
two biggest
how to-
characters in the
exactly,
Federation.
Exactly, and how well we can pull off that story.
And you know what? I had a little message from Mike Del Cano the other day. I'm still not sold in that main event. I don't see it. I don't think Jacob should be the underdog. Who the fuck says Antillicus is the underdog? He just squashed Three Dog. Squashed a guy the same size as Blade Shaw. And he beat down Blade Shaw at the last show, just attacked, beat him down. No one's done that to Blade.
It's two dominant forces. There is no underdog.
You might be shorter, doesn't change anything. You're a dominant force. You have not been beaten since you've been the champion. He's not been beaten since he's been back in backyard wrestling. It is the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. That's what it is.
Exactly.
And I guess if Barrett was there to see what has been taking place over the last few months and saw the character that Blade had started to build since Hardcore Hell, saw the character that you've been continuing to build since he was there last. If he saw the way that we'd built these characters up, I think he would see that this is an important match, and you know what? No one would have ever thought
it kind of
this would
sucks
be a
'cause,
Resolution main event.
It kind of feels like he doesn't have the faith in Blade that Blade deserves
Of course,
right now.
because he doesn't realise that Blade's going out
Blade.
there every single show since his match with Ryan. Every single show
He's
he's
having some amazing. He had match of the year, didn't he? Like
Almost.
second
Second.
match of the year. Second match of the year. Sorry, my bad. And like he's just gone on this massive improvement streak. You know, he's even losing weight just for this match.
Yeah.
Like it means so much to him. It
He
means
didn't
much
even
to
drink
me.
at the end of Euro Wars because he's trying to cut weight for this match. Like he's actually
he's
training
so
for a
committed
match.
and he's so dedicated to wrestling, and it's so important to him. And like it's crazy that like he thinks that he isn't good enough to wrestle me, and it's like, of course you are, man.
Yeah,
like,
of course he is. And the thing
he's
is,
so
the whole
good
idea
now.
is that Blade spent all these years. He never got a shot at a heavyweight title.
He deserved
He
it
never
so
got a
much.
main event of a big show. He's been doing it for 14 years. It's about time he got an opportunity to at least be in the spotlight. You know, and this is a big match for him, and it's a big match for you, and who knows who's going to win, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think anyone has a clue of what's going to go down, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, definitely. It will be amazing.
I'm going to finish this off on a couple of questions. You've kind of already gone over this. What does it mean to you to be WCWA champion was one of the questions, but you've kind of really gone over that.
Yeah.
Is there anything over the past, near 4 years or whatever it is, that you would have done differently?
To be honest, not really. I think, despite all the disappointments, it's all came together quite perfectly for me. I think if it wasn't for the disappointments, that I wouldn't have thrived so hard to improve more and show that I'm better than those people. And I don't know. I think everything's worked how it was meant to work for me.
You're happy that you had that down period where you were being deep pushed because it gave you the fire.
I think, exactly. If it wasn't for that downfall, I wouldn't have had the fight to come back and try and prove to everyone that I have just disappointed, that I can be more than just a disappointment, and I can be something that you guys can,
be proud of.
Yeah, you guys can be proud of me, and like, I'm really happy with how my career's gone despite all the downfalls.
What else do you hope to achieve in this last year of WCWA before you hang it up for good?
I mean, there isn't that much that I haven't achieved so far on WCWA. I think the only thing I hope to achieve is to keep my character strong, to just not let myself go stale. I really want to stay a top dog, even if I'm not in the main events.
Yeah.
I want to be known as one of the best wrestlers WCWA has to offer, and I want to keep that until we die.
Excellent.
I want to be known as, like, people think of WCWA, they think of Antillicus.
Excellent, dude. Good attitude. Last question before we get to the Q&A. We're going to have to take a short break after this because it appears that I'm almost getting a wet tip of my dick because I need to piss that bad. What does WZWA mean to you?
It means so much. It's like a whole new family, I've had friends over the past, but the crazy bond that I have with all you, I only see you once a month, at most, and it's like we all love each other the same every time. It's like the last event was yesterday. I can go in there, I can start a conversation with absolutely anyone, and I'll have a good time, you know? Like, it isn't just a chance to go out there and do something that I love. It's a chance to go out there and spend time with people that I love, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's crazy. It's helped me a lot, having the support you guys have given me, despite me being a dickhead sometimes, you know, wanting to leave, being on bad terms with a lot of you, and coming back, it's made me realize how important everyone in this Fed is, and how important this Fed is to me. It isn't just a chance to wrestle, you know. I'm not even that much of a fan of wrestling these days, but I can't wait to get back.
It's
into
like
the
I don't like
arena.
watching cricket, but if I was playing cricket, I have a fucking fun time. Like, you know, or if you play mini golf, you wouldn't want to watch people playing mini
That would
golf,
suck.
would you?
But playing it is fun.
Playing
you
it is
know?
fucking sick.
And
you
just
know?
being around you guys, and just being around that environment and atmosphere that everyone loves each other, and everyone has that same respect for each other. You know, even people like Steele come into it, and he's worked his way up now, and he's earned everyone's respect as far as I'm concerned. He's improved so much.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Even as a person as well.
As a person,
But
exactly.
it's that brotherhood that we've created
yeah.
together, you know?
And you can even tell that means so much to Steele. You know, everyone is so pivotal in everyone else's life because of that support and love we had for each other. And we all share the same passion, wrestling.
Yeah.
And we all get to do it and watch each other improve, watch each other become greats.
And the
And
camaraderie.
it's such a good feeling. I'm proud of everyone. You know, I have
Me too.
I have that strong love for everyone, and it makes me really happy that I have something as awesome as this. And people look at me and go, "Oh, you're a wrestler, you faggot." You know,
Yeah,
it isn't just about wrestling. It's about these bonds that I've made.
It's the brotherhood that we've
And
created
the-
together, the camaraderie.
Exactly, like
You don't get that in pro wrestling in Perth. There's no brotherhood. It's just everyone's there to fucking wrestle, and that's about it. With backyard wrestling, it's about the friends.
Yeah, there's my my example would be my current friend group. You know, we're all mates, but I don't have the respect I have for them that I have for you guys. And I've known them longer. I've been friends with them longer. But you guys have just like made such a strong impact in my life. And I don't think I'd be who I am today if I wasn't for
And
them.
I am the exact
even
same.
even as a person. I love it watching everyone grow. Even though I'm the second youngest. It's still fucking awesome watching everyone grow as a person and a superstar and as a friend.
Yeah.
At these events, and it's fucking awesome.
And that's
I
what
love
the
it.
war zone is, brother.
Exactly, we're just a big family.
We are a big family. Sometimes it can get incestuous, especially with some of the girlfriends some of the guys have had in the Federation. Brian Lowe, Dan Zeppelin. But you know, it has been the most incredible experience. We've got one more year left, and not only that, we've got one more part to this interview left. It's called the Q&A. We will get to this after this break. I need to piss like a racehorse. Thank you, Antillicus.
You're welcome.
Once again, there will be another handshake. I always shake everyone's hand at the end of each part. But thank you, Antillicus, and we'll get to the Q&A soon. Yeah, sick. So thank you once again for listening to the GBYWN Australia podcast. I am Aston Crude, and I will see you all
Poo.
next time.